Greetings, eternal wanderers and keepers of ancient flames. Let us embark on a journey deeper than the roots of the oldest oak, through the mythos of Demeter, goddess of the harvest, architect of seasons, and mother of the cosmos's most haunting love story. This tale is not merely a myth, but a mirror reflecting humanity's deepest fears, joys, and existential truths. By the end, you will understand why her sorrow still whispers through autumn leaves and her joy blooms in every spring. Buckle your sandals, for this odyssey spans the birth of gods, the agony of loss, and the alchemy of rebirth. And yes, it will stretch beyond 2,000 words, because some stories demand the expanse of eternity, the primordial womb, Demeter's Titan blood. Long before Olympus scraped the heavens, the Titans ruled a raw, untamed cosmos. Cronus, the devourer of his children, and Rhea, the mother of unyielding sorrow, birthed Demeter into a world of chaos. Swallowed whole at birth, like her siblings Hestia, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, she languished in her father's gullet, a prisoner of his fear. Yet here, in the acidic dark, Demeter's connection to cycles began. She learned the first law of existence. All things must be consumed to be reborn. When Zeus, the youngest, freed his siblings, Demeter emerged not as a warrior, but as a force of quiet, unbreakable will. While her brothers claimed seas and skies, she chose the earth not as a dominion, but as a symbiosis. Her power was not to rule, but to nurture. She became the bridge between mortal and divine, her heartbeat syncing with the sprouting of wheat and the rotting of fallen fruit. Lesser known truth: Demeter's name derives not from earth, Gaia, but from Deo, barley or grain, and Meter, mother. She was worshipped as Thesmophoros, lawbringer, in secret rites, for she taught humans agriculture and with it, civilization's first laws. Plant in spring, reap in autumn, honor the soil. Persephone, the flower that split the world. Demeter's greatest joy was her daughter, Persephone, or Kor, the maiden, born not from Zeus's loins, but from the goddess's bone essence. A rare parthenogenesis in myth, Persephone was spring incarnate. Her footsteps left trails of hyacinth and crocus. Her laughter made rivers dance. Together, they wandered the mortal world, Demeter teaching her the secrets of every seed, every herb that healed or poisoned. But Zeus, in his greed, had promised Persephone to Hades, his brooding brother. The underworld needed a queen, and who better than innocence itself to soften its shadows? One day, as Persephone gathered narcissus, a flower Hades crafted to ensnare her, the earth cracked open. Horses, black as starless night, pulled Hades' chariot upward, and he seized her, a single scream echoing into the void. The descent. Demeter's grief as cosmic rebellion. Demeter's mourning was not passive. She chose to let the world wither. For 9 days she wandered the earth, cloaked as an old mortal woman, her divinity veiled. Rivers turned to dust, trees shed their leaves in midsummer, famine clawed at throats, and the gods' altars lay empty for who prays when survival consumes every thought. In her exile, Demeter arrived in Eleusis, where Queen Metanira welcomed her as a nurse for her son, Demophon. Demeter, seeking solace, attempted to make the boy immortal by burning his mortal flesh in a hearth's sacred fire. When Metanira screamed in terror, Demeter revealed her true form. Radiant, furious, and heartbroken, she demanded a temple be built in her name, where she retreated, letting the world rot. Hidden layer. This interlude is no mere folktale. It mirrors the human condition. Even gods seek purpose in grief. Demeter's act of nurturing, Demophon, and failing symbolizes her struggle to reconcile immortality with mortal suffering. The underworld's bargain, birth of the seasons. As mortals perished, the gods starved for without worship. Their power faded. Zeus sent Hermes to demand Hades release Persephone. But Hades, cunning and lonely, tricked her into eating 6 pomegranate seeds. By ancient law, consuming food of the underworld bound her to it. The compromise. Persephone would spend 6 months underground as Hades, queen, and 6 above with Demeter. Thus, the seasons were born. Spring and summer for their reunion, autumn and winter for their parting. Philosophical depths. This myth is often oversimplified, but its genius lies in duality. Persephone is both victim and queen, maiden and destroyer. Demeter's grief is not weakness, but a sacred protest, a demand that even gods acknowledge loss. The Eleusinian mysteries, built around this myth, promised initiates that death was not an end but a door. Participants drank kykeon, a mix of barley, water, and mint, possibly laced with ergot, a psychedelic fungus, inducing visions of the afterlife. Demeter's pain became humanity's enlightenment. Demeter's forgotten faces: lover, avenger, and witch. 1. Iasion and the Field of Desire. Before Persephone, Demeter loved Iasion, a mortal prince. They coupled in a thrice-plowed field, a ritual to bless the harvest. Their son, Plutus, god of wealth, tied agriculture to prosperity. Zeus, jealous, incinerated Iasion with a thunderbolt. Demeter's wrath: she let the earth lie fallow until Zeus resurrected Iasion as a constellation. 2. Erysichthon, the man who ate himself. When the mortal Erysichthon axed Demeter's sacred oak, she cursed him with limos, famine, an insatiable hunger. He sold his daughter into slavery for food, then devoured his own limbs, a grotesque metaphor for humanity's self-destruction through greed. 3. The Wandering Witch. In Sicily, Demeter was worshipped as a sorceress. Farmers whispered that she taught them to brew poisons from nightshade and antidotes from fennel. Her priestesses, the Melissae, bees, were said to shapeshift and commune with spirits. The Eleusinian mysteries, Demeter's gift of immortality. For nearly 2,000 years, the Eleusinian mysteries were antiquity's best-kept secret. Initiates, from slaves to emperors, underwent rites in Demeter's temple at Eleusis. The climax? A priest revealed a single ear of grain, symbolizing that life springs from decay. Participants emerged reborn, freed from the fear of death. Controversial truth. Some scholars argue the rites included a mock abduction of an initiate, mirroring Persephone's trauma. By experiencing her violation, they transcended it. A radical notion for the ancient world. Demeter's legacy. From antiquity to modernity, Demeter's influence stretches beyond myth. The Thesmophoria, a women's festival, saw Athenian women fast, then feast on pomegranates to honor her. In Rome, she became Ceres, root of cereal, whose temple housed the plebeians' sacred laws. Today, her spirit thrives in environmental movements. When activists defend forests or demand sustainable farming, they channel Demeter's creed: respect the earth or face its wrath. Epilogue. The mother who never forgets. Demeter's story does not end. Each autumn, she relives her loss. Each spring, her hope renews. She is the mother who cannot protect her child, the goddess who cannot control fate, the deity who teaches us that sorrow is the price of love. Farewell, mortals and dreamers. If this epic has stirred your soul, cast a like into the void, subscribe to our channel, and let your voice rise in the comments. Who is your favorite mythic figure? A warrior? A tortured god? A creature of twilight? Speak, and we shall conjure their tale next. Until then, remember, every seed you plant is a prayer to Demeter. Farewell. Peace. And for the skeptics, Demeter's myth may be just a story, but her fingerprints are real. Next time you taste bread, think of her. When winter's chill bites, know she mourns. And when spring comes, that's her smiling through tears.